What's poppin', Truth Nation? It is your fly gal, Just Bree, stepping in for Melanie Ricks as she is off on assignment right here on 101.7 The Truth in the American Family Insurance Studios. And we are talking nothing but the truth. And of course, I'm with the great Ben. I don't want to take your slogan. Go ahead, Ben.
It's amazing.
Hey, Ben, how are you?
Y'all know how it is. Bree, you know how I am. I'm turned up and I'm ready.
I'm ready. Did you miss me, though?
The truth.
Okay, Ben, but did you miss me, though? Did you miss our duo?
Let's see. When's the last time we did a show together?
In forever.
I missed you.
Forever.
I miss my Gemini sister.
Thank you.
I miss my Gemini, because I was going to go and be negative and stuff.
I know you were.
I could do that, but why not? You know, you came in here, your braids are done, okay? She got her hair did up, y'all, Truth Nation. She done came in off of a 5 a.m. workout, feeling fresh and ready to go, okay? It is 12 o'clock, so you done already done most of what other people aren't willing to do yet. So you're already successful, Bree. I'm trying to get like you.
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. And you know me. You know you could come with me 5 a.m, Lifetime Fitness. Let's go. I got a guest pass. I got you, Ben. Let's go. Let's get it in. I never get to use my guest passes because nobody wants to come with me at that time.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Bree. Usually at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm actually getting up so I can start Truth Be Told.
See, you know what? I did know that.
Yeah.
I did know that.
Yeah.
So
that's my schedule.
We could go earlier. We could do a 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. workout.
You know what? It's so funny, Bree, because I'm one of these people that I'm really driven, right? I'm really driven. I'm super ambitious, and when things fit inside of my schedule, I could just go ahead and get it done.
Right.
All right. I don't know about you, Bree. All right. But when we first got here to GKB, we had to take a personality test. Okay. We had to take a personality test. All right, and it was to determine our strengths. I believe it's called the Clifton's Strengths Test. Do you know what my number one is?
What was your number one, Ben?
My number one strength that Benjamin has. I know a lot of people out there, I already know what he's about to say. It's amazing. It's amazing. Actually, it wasn't amazing. It's me being an achiever. My number one strength on Clifton Strengths is me being an achiever. So, you know what?
That's really dope.
When I first started to fill in on the morning show and when it used to be NK in the morning, I used to wake up in the wee hours of 4 o'clock in the morning. All right. And next Sunday, I was in the gym because being here at 3rd Street Market Hall, on top of all the illustrious foods that we have out there, you know, Dairyland and Yummy Bowl and Dog City, places like that. We also have our own workout facility that we can work out in. So I used to hit that gym. All right, I used to hit the step ladder. I used to throw the weight balls around. I used to play with those balls and bounce them and make sure that I was getting stronger each and every day.
Relax, man.
I'm keeping it real. I had to do whatever I had to do to get my testosterone up.
Oh,
okay.
Throwing them balls around.
Yeah, throw them balls around. throw them balls around. I might have to play with the balls myself. You know, because there's nobody else in there to play with the balls with. So I play with them. Okay, and I don't care if it's a 5-pound ball or 10-pound ball or 20-pound ball. I was bouncing those balls. Okay.
I feel that.
Dedicated.
You're so disgusting. Anyway, though, it's been a lot of talk out here thus far, Ben, about Johnathan Majors.
What's going on?
So if you have not heard, this case has been going on for a while. He is now also dating Megan Good as well. So they have been going to trial together. If you haven't heard, his ex before Megan Good accused him of physical assault and abuse, right? So as we got to see the trial kind of play out, more and more evidence came about, right? So one of the first videos that we were able to see, or really audios that we were able to see, we saw him discussing what she should be like as a woman, right? And he said in that clip that he would like for her to be more like Coretta Scott King, if you don't know, Martin Luther King's wife, and also wanted her to be more like Michelle Obama.
What does that mean, no, Bree? Like if you date somebody, if you having an interracial dating relationship, right? Like I'm a black man. If I go out there date a white woman, you know, somebody from the European countries, and I tell her that she needs to act more like Coretta Scott King, if I tell her she needs to act more like Michelle Obama, if I tell her that she needs to act like Auntie, what was her name?
Aunt Vivian.
Aunt Vivian, yes, let's go with that. Or Aunt Jemima, somebody like that. What does that really mean? Like, does that mean that she needs to go and cook me some pancakes better? Does that mean that I may be president one day and you need to act like Michelle Obama and tell these kids that they need to get on a weight loss program? Is that what I'm telling her then?
Boy, they about to think that I'm a pick me real bad for what I'm about to say, okay? Because I do not think that what he said was wrong in the context of what he was saying, but I think that he delivered that all wrong, right? And I don't think excellent as a woman is just determined by race, or you should have been like, be more like Queen Elizabeth just because she's white and British.
I don't think said Queen Latifah. Be more like Queen Latifah.
You know, it's not like excellence is derivative towards one race and you should only strive for excellence based on somebody who is your same color, right? One of the people that I look up to a lot is Anna Wintour. She's very stoic as a person, but she's a white woman.
Here we go.
You know,
don't let Kanye West hear this.
Forget Kanye. Kanye, look, I don't have much for Kanye. Somebody please take away his phone and maybe I'll get exiled for it. Whatever. I don't care. So what I was saying is, just because he's trying to tell her in very Hollywood terms, because he was acting very Hollywood, we can say that, right?
I think that's really who he is. like I know we heard the audio clips, and it personally did sound a little scripted, but this is him talking how he normally talks. Right. You got to remember, this man isn't an American, all right? He's not from New York, okay? He's not from Florida. He's not from Georgia, okay? This man is from overseas. He's from across the Atlantic Ocean, okay? So he talks with a British accent when he's not acting in movies.
Right. And, you know, and that is his way. That was his way of telling her, I want you to be better. Now, is that abusive? I don't think that conversation was abusive. I think that conversation was real. Because if you listen to what he's saying in that conversation, he's like, you're going out getting sloppy drunk with your friends and you coming back here and interrupting our peace. That's real. And when you in a relationship, you have to take those types of things into accountability. If y'all are living together and you coming home sloppy drunk every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that could disrupt somebody else's peace. And I think what he was saying is, I'm a public figure, right? And how can I have my girl out here looking crazy because she just want to do what she wants to do and have no regards of me, myself? When you're in a relationship, unfortunately, you become the half of somebody. And yes, you are still a whole you, but you're a 1.5 now. And now that half, sometimes have to matters, not always, but have to matters a little bit more than just yourself. You have to have that. Who are you in a relationship if you are not thinking about your other partner? That is terribly, terribly important to understand where they're coming from.
So is that what you believe led up to the allegations, or I guess now proven the fact of I was about to call him Jonathan B. Majors, but Jonathan Majors allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend? You believe that's what led up to everything? Because ultimately, because when I heard the audio of Jonathan B. Majors, I just said it again. When I heard the audio of Jonathan Majors telling his then girlfriend that, hey, she needed to step up and be more like Michelle Obama and be more like Coretta Scott King, I was thinking and sensing there was a lot of frustration in his tone. Right? I don't think this was the very first time that he saw his then girlfriend come home sloppy drunk. You know, I think he actually was fed up, because he even alludes to the fact of like, hey, I am a great man. I am a great man. And a man with a temper like mine, I should actually be respected a bit more. He's like, I'm nice. I'm a gentleman. Like, what are you really doing? Because, I mean, to your point, Bree, the fact is, you know, if you are ascending, right? If you are ascending in life and you are in a relationship with somebody, that person needs to compliment you, right? They need to compliment you in every shape or form that they possibly can, so you guys can both be a team that actually excels in life.
Right.
I think what he was going to say is, look, you know, you being sloppy drunk and going out to these clubs like that and coming home yelling and doing whatever else you're doing is going to come down and be a bad look on us.
And guess what happened? Guess what happened?
It didn't really matter, though, because either way I go, it was a double-edged sword. He was already put somebody in his circle that was
toxic.
More or less a liability, right? More or less a liability, because for one, I said this before when these allegations came out about Jonathan Majors allegedly assaulting his then girlfriend. You know, I was like, oh my God, like, who is this girlfriend? Because personally, a lot of us didn't even know he had a chick.
Did not know
he was in any kind of relationship, right? And the thing is, Johnathan Majors in the black community seemed to be a A-list celebrity, seemed to be one of these actors that was on his way up. He was ascending. But when we saw him with that white woman, all right, when we saw him with the snow bunnies, okay, we said, Johnathan Majors, you better put on your snowsuit. Better put on your snowsuit because you need some protection. You're going to need some protection. We've heard this throughout a great majority of our lives. We've heard this throughout a great majority of our lives, especially black men growing up with black mothers, or even growing up in a black household. Do not bring that white woman home. Stay away from white women. Be careful with them white women. All these types of things. I remember, Bree, I was about 15 years old, and a good friend of mine, he ended up going to jail because of some accusations of him messing around with a white woman, and allegedly some things went down. He went to the boys' home for like a solid 2 years. Changed this man's life completely.
Wow.
Altered who he was completely just within those 2 years. And ultimately, it was a lie. So it's one of these things where one of these narratives that our ancestors, if you will, or our mothers, fathers, and our basically our community tries to protect us from, so things like this, what just happened to Johnathan Majors, doesn't happen. Right. Johnathan Majors, and again, me and the Tori Lowe, all right, who's on from 1 to 4. We were just talking about these things in regards of he was on his ascent. I mean, after Johnathan Majors would have done this Kang role, who he was supposed to play Marvel's next top tier villain. After he did that role, I could only assume that the rest of his career in Hollywood would have been great. Right, he would have been up there with like a Denzel, for lack of bead of word.
He's very good.
He honestly, look, Johnathan Majors is a great actor. Period. I don't care. He is a great actor. He's a lead actor role, lead man role that you would actually want to see in a leading role. Like his role in what is it called? The Harder They Fall. Brilliant, immaculate. Yeah. What else was it? He had the movie with
Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan.
I actually didn't see Creed 3 yet. I still haven't seen it, but I'm going to support it now because the masses not messing with Johnathan Majors, and that's cool. But I'm going to go back and watch Creed 3 just because of Johnathan Majors.
Honestly, he played that role immaculately, and like you said, he's a great actor. And of course, we don't know these people personally, but with everything that came out, I don't understand how the jury still convicted him of 2 counts. So if you don't know, on Monday,
how not?
I wouldn't convict him. You know why? Because I also saw how belligerent she was. So at this point, it's the both of y'all.
What do you mean?
This is what I mean, right?
I want to see the other side of this.
Okay, I got you. So, look, on Monday, he was convicted of 1 count of reckless assault in the 3rd degree and a non-criminal charge of harassment as a violation, right? So these are counts where even Lil Duval said it. He probably will just get probation or something for this. He's not going to get necessarily jail time, or he should not get jail time for these 2 things, right? And then there were bigger charges that he was up against. So another assault charge that carried heavier weight, and then 1 count of aggravated harassment, which would have carried some type of jail time. So the jury did convict him of lesser sentences. But once I saw the fact that she was belligerent as well, and the proof and evidence that even after the whole thing, she's still out at the bars, that lets me know a few things about her, right? Because we saw this come up multiple times, at least 3 different times is what I saw. Number 1, when they were in a closet or something, and they were sitting there talking about her drinking habits. Then we saw a clip where she was in the bar, in the club afterwards, and she was drinking with those 2 other guys and her friend. That's another one. Then the video that we saw of her running, doing she's a runner, she's a track star challenge, running after this man. That tells me everything I need to know with kind of regarding her. She has an issue that was causing the relationship to be toxic. He has issues that was causing the relationship to be toxic. Therefore, I feel like those 2 things cancel each other out. When you are toxic and y'all just are together as toxic beings, it just needs to be a wash, and y'all need to go y'all separate ways. Because just as much as one has a temper, the other one is a drunk and can be belligerent. And then turn it off and turn it on to where she then is now playing victim, and now she's the weepy drunk. That is dangerous. When people have substance issues, even if I don't even want to say addiction, right? Just substance issues. Because I've known people who just drink a little bit too much, or just every time that they drink that they are too angry, or they're too sad, or They get too into their drink, right? So if that's her and she's constantly doing that, and he says the thing about being peace at home, I start to see that it's not just him with the problem, because he definitely has one, but it's also her with this issue. And once I see that, it's the both of y'all. Separate. Let's get some restraining orders intact. One is already in a relationship with somebody else. I would have called it a wash. It's done. Stay away from each other, right? Because, and then everything else is too vague. The broken finger, she could have broken her finger by not wanting to get in that car. She also could have broken her finger by snatching away. He was snatching away and he was trying to run. She also could have hurt her finger doing that as well, and she was trying to hold on to this man. We don't know clear circumstances. It's just different when you don't know the clear circumstances of things and then convict somebody, even with these lesser charges. Because what happened to Johnathan Majors? Disney walked away from him. Almost immediately. I remember the charge. Monday, it was like the charges came down. And then about Tuesday morning, we hear that Disney walked away from him. Disney did wait, which I could appreciate. Disney waited to see what was going to happen. Usually some bigger conglomerates like that will walk away from somebody so quickly. The allegation, walk away. I mean, but Disney waited.
I know, honestly, Brie, I think people had already walked away from him. And I think that's because, what social media does. Social media doesn't wait until you actually prove them guilty in court. No, they already hang you in the court of public opinion. That's literally what happens. I was already seeing the MCU was like, we're going to delay. We're going to wait on what's going on with Kang right now. We're going to see how this rolls out. But to me, that was already, they were already planning, ahead of time. Like, hey, if we don't have Johnathan Majors, then what should we do? How should we pivot with these movies? Even with that being said, like, honestly, what I'm getting from all of this is what happens. Like, what do you do? Where do you go to, or where do you go when you are wrongfully accused of something, right? Like, because ultimately, like, say for instance, in the beginning of this, right, everybody starts to move away from Johnathan Majors. All based off of allegations. And this is what's happening time and time again with not just a Johnathan Majors, but say, for instance, like a Will Smith or like a Jamie Foxx. As soon as people start alleging you've done some things, that's when everybody wants to back away from you. These are the same people you've been partying with. You probably went to a few Diddy all-white parties before, and y'all was drinking Cavassier and pouring up Ciroc vodka and telling each other, hey, I love you, bro. I love you too, bro. But when things actually got real, that's when everybody moves around. So what do you do when you falsely accused? Because now here it is in Johnathan Majors' life currently right now. He could have been having a really big bag going over there to Marvel, right?
Yes.
MCU was definitely going to set him up for the rest of his life. But now he has to pivot. Now he has to back away and realize, not only his actions, what he did, but he has to figure out how to reinvigorate his career, how to breathe fresh air back into his career. What has the normal person done, right? Because there are people that are wrongfully convicted, wrongfully accused of things that they never done before, go to jail, do the time, might even spend a good 20, 25 years in prison for doing something that they never done, and they were totally innocent. But now they have to come back out on the streets and retransform their lives. How do they go about that?
Right.
That's crazy. But if you guys on Truth Nation want to answer this question and don't have anything to say about that brother Johnathan Majors, make sure that you do text in or call in at 833-212-1017. Or you can subscribe and like on our YouTube right now and share. We are only 28 subscribers away from 1,000. So if one of you fans out there, one of our Truth Nation listeners right now can go ahead and click that subscribe button, we will be just that much closer to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I say go ahead and please like and subscribe right now. But with that being said, we will head to these call lines. Brian, you are on with Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks, who's out on assignment, and your boy Ben Jimmy, and just Bree. How you doing, Brian? What's going on? What's your question or comment?
My comment is this, and salute to y'all even talking about this subject. But I think what happened with Mr. Majors is he forgot he might have missed an appointment to do a ritual, and he may have thought that his his popularity would give him a pass. But when you're in that arena, when you're in that Hollywood arena and you're a major star and you happen to be a man of color, there's certain things you have to do.
All the
there's certain things you have to do. And obviously the ones that have been successful, and you get all kinds of truthful allegations against them, but they don't spend a day in not even jail. We're speaking about Puff Daddy. We're hearing all these allegations, but he hasn't been arrested. Jay-Z hasn't been arrested. These people do their rituals and they do what they're supposed to do. But Jonathan Majors probably missed one or too many rituals that he was supposed to go to. That's why he's having these issues. And it also gives a stab at the black male as a whole, worldwide. This is a worldwide stab at the black community and the black man. So the Illuminati got a twofer on this one.
It sounds like you are a black man yourself, right? I can't see you, so correct me on that. Okay, so as a black man, what does this tell you, like, going forward in your own life? Or what would you tell young black men about maybe dating outside of their race, or just dating in general? Because it does not necessarily have to be outside of your race, but just dating in general. What would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Well, I would give them the advice of this. Do not date white women, period. Do not date white women, period. If you want to be with somebody of a different color and of that nationality, be a gay black man with a gay white man. That's what I would suggest. If you have to have that different color so bad, be gay and give it a white dude. Then you wind up like what's his name? The black guy that used to be on the used to have his own television show, morning television show.
You talking about Don Lemon?
Yeah. Do that. So you won't have to. Brian, you have all kinds of actions.
Brian,
go ahead.
I got a question. We got to go to break real soon, but I got a question. So you believe that it'd be better for a black man to get with a white man and them be lovers versus a black man with a white woman?
If you have to have a Caucasian in your life and you don't want to have to deal with jail time, if you don't want to have to deal with jail time at that high end level, that high end Illuminati level, there's situations and rituals you have to do to even be in that aura, to even get them millions of dollars. You got to sell your soul, not only, but you also have to keep up with your rituals, and you have to do them on time when they call for you.
Hey, Brian, honestly, I love going all the way down the rabbit hole, and I love it. Appreciate your call, Brian. We have to run the break. This is Nothing But the Truth, and the question is, ultimately, when it comes down to this case with Jonathan B. Majors, I keep saying Jonathan B. Majors. When it comes down to Jonathan Majors and this newfound conviction, he has now been found guilty in regards to the assault against his girlfriend. Do you guys believe that he was wrong? Do you believe that he was wrongfully convicted? And if so, what do you do in the case of a wrongful conviction? How do you go about changing your mindset and reshaping your mindset to come back out into the world? That is the question. Call in, text in 833-212-1017. We will hear back from y'all on the other side. I am Benjamin. That is Just Bree, and this is Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. Holla at you later.
This is Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
I'm really excited to let you all know that LabCorp Clinical Trials is becoming Fortrea Clinical Trials. Their name may have changed, but they remain committed to bring you the same great experience, professionalism, and some new opportunities under their new Fortrea name. FortreaClinicalTrials.com is their new website. They got the same great people, same great location, over 40 years in business. And they got some new opportunities for you to help them advance medicine while making some extra money. Go to FortreaClinicalTrials.com right now for more information.
Are you an older adult or an adult with a disability who makes too much for Medicaid benefits? Well, there's good news. You may qualify for $7,200 to help pay for short-term or continuous in-home services through the new Milwaukee County Independent Living Supports Pilot Program. If you qualify, it can help you pay for things like specialized medical equipment, home modifications, personal care, and other services that improve your quality of life. So do yourself a favor. Don't leave this opportunity on the table. You deserve to live life to the fullest. Find out if you qualify right away by visiting county.milwaukee.gov/ILSP. Again, that's county.milwaukee.gov/ILSP, or call 414-289-6874. That's 414-289-6874. Milwaukee County Independent Living Supports Pilot Program. Live your life to the fullest.
When it comes to getting the smile of your dreams, you can't just trust anyone. So look no further than Bouban Orthodontics. Bouban Orthodontics is Wisconsin's #1 Invisalign provider and has been providing the best value for braces and Invisalign since 1993. With 15 convenient locations, you're sure to find one in your area. Schedule your free consultation today. Call or text 262-522-7447 or visit BoubanOrtho.com. Bouban Orthodontics, a family treating families.
Are you tired of paying rent to a landlord and not yourself? Do you want some freedom from paying rent? Are you ready to build your own equity? Team up with Axe Housing. They can make it possible for your family to own their own home. It's not just a dream anymore. They've helped over 3,000 families buy their home, and you can be next. And oftentimes, your mortgage will be less than what you're paying for rent. So go to axehousing.org. That's ACTShousing.org. Click on the Truth link and get started on your virtual orientation with Axe Coaching right now.
Don't touch that dial. Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Energy made this one. Yeah. Gangs. You already know what's going on, boy. Alright. Hey, it's ghetto boys over everything. Free Rio. Yes, sir. Let's do it. I ain't got
Ben, you always get me in mode. And right now may not be the time to get Bree in mode. Because we got a lot to talk about. Ben, it's your flight gal, Just Bree, filling in for Melanie Ricks, who is off on assignment right here on 1017 The Truth in the American Family Studios. And I'm talking nothing but the truth with being jamming.
It's amazing.
We've been talking about the Johnathan Majors conviction. Like I said before, he was convicted on Monday of reckless assault in the 3rd degree and a non-criminal charge of harassment as a violation, right? So it's not a charge, it's just a violation. But my stance on this has been, I think that either both should have been brought up on charges or none should have brought up on charges because it was a toxic relationship. But as our listener before, Brian has said, he had a few choice words, and I got to make it clear that Bree thinks that all relationships can work. Interracial, same race, different sex, whatever. It can all work as long as you are not toxic. I am talking about character, okay? It's all about your character and who you are. All right?
You sure about that, Bree?
Yes, I think that matters. Your character. Who are you? Are you going to weaponize your race towards somebody?
What about the culture? What if somebody is so devout to their culture that they are willing to kill you for it? All right. Then that becomes problematic in that quote unquote relationship. I don't care if it was a friendship or an actual lovers relationship, right? Like, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, Truth Nation. Back in 2020, okay, I remember when there was a lot of racial tensions happening here in America. All right, and there was a lot of people out there in interracial relationships that didn't find out that their lover was racist until Donald Trump said what he wanted to say.
For sure.
Okay, and it actually broke up some quote-unquote happy homes. So some people are living in an imaginary fairy tale land where they believe love is love until that real side of them come out. You may be dating that person on the front that you see, the front that they see and they put out there for everybody else to see. All right, but when you get home with that person, they may have a KKK flag just back there. They may have the Southern flag back there, a Confederate flag back there, supporting the KKK, and it may be black.
Yeah.
Okay, so ultimately, you know, who knows? Brian said this before. I'm not saying that I agree with this, but he brought up an issue that seems to be a reoccurring issue in a lot of people's situationships. All right, and what he goes on to say is, look, don't date white women. That white girl was the problem from the get-go. Okay, that white girl was the problem from the get-go. He goes on to say, and a lot of people went on to say and allude to the fact that this white woman wasn't even no American white woman. All right, she was from Yugoslavia or something like that. So how she actually sees Americans is vastly different from how we're growing up and raised here in America. Me personally, I say, look, if he was going to date some kind of white woman, all right, some kind of English woman, one of the pilgrims, one of the colonizers, he should have chose the white woman from Hustle and Flow. You know, the one who was a prostitute? You didn't just a hood white chick then.
Oh, my goodness.
Somebody who actually resonated with the culture. At least to some degree. She would at least know who Coretta Scott King is. He wouldn't have to ask her the question. Because honestly, if you got to ask somebody...
That was so disrespectful.
if you got to ask somebody who Coretta Scott King is or Michelle Obama is, you probably shouldn't be with them. All right, especially being black. All right, if I walk into my mom's house and my mom got to ask my girl who I'm with currently right now, do you know who Coretta Scott King is or Michelle Obama is? It's probably over by that point because where I'm headed in life is up there. Okay, right. I'm trying to get way up to the mountaintop. I'm trying to climb way up to the mountaintop. And if she don't even know who those examples of great women are, kick rocks there, sweetheart, because you got to go. Okay? But with that being said, Truth Nation, call in, text in 833-212-1017 so you can get your voice heard, okay? And what do y'all think? What the problem was with Johnathan Majors? Was it that he was with a white woman and he should have stayed away from the snow bunny from the get-go? He should have never dipped his carrot into the vanilla icing? Huh? What do y'all think, Truth Nation? 833-212-1017. But right now, we about to head to the lines. The caller, you are on Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks, who's out on assignment. I am Benjamin, and that is just Bree. What is your question or comment?
How y'all doing?
Amazing.
Good.
So that was an excellent soliloquy about the Confederate flags and all of that. I do want to let you know, brother, there were black Confederates. Look up Isaiah T. Montgomery. And just like the Confederacy, abuse from a mate or a spouse come in all colors. We've heard of Jada, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
We've heard of Jada. She's black. So she abused Will, and she's nowhere near white. With regards to Johnathan, though, this is a politically motivated situation because these are 4 misdemeanors that he was accused of, basically just above municipal tickets. There is footage, I don't know if you guys have seen it, where he's running away from her in a vehicle.
Like a runaway slave. Like a runaway slave he was running.
Let me finish, Ben. Let me finish. The driver testified in court that she attacked him, and all he did was snatch her phone. So if you're hitting somebody, that's how you can get the bruise that the second police body cam showed when she was laying. I don't know, have you guys seen her laying on his floor of his home?
Yeah.
Have you seen that video?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've seen that video, you can see that there's a bruise on her hand. That's what this man has been charged and convicted of. So this was all to embarrass him and to put, her name is Grace Jabari. That's the other problem that I have. A lot of these cases where particularly black men are attacked, the person who's accusing them gets to throw rocks and hide their hands. So I want Truth Nation to know that Grace Jabari, along with Alvin Bragg, who's the DA, and Judge Mike Gaffney, were out to embarrass this man so that she could possibly get a civil lawsuit, which will probably follow. Because when you say that buzzword of assault, people think that this is a big... You know, if you've seen the movie Rosewood, he was so big and black and he hurt the little white man. So that part of it that you're talking about, Benjamin, is specific to her race. But we know people of all races who abuse people. So I think Brian just kind of forgot about Jada for a minute. Usually he calls in and talks bad about Jada and he's right about a lot of that.
Right.
But the race of somebody being a grandfather of biracial grandchildren, who are only 25% colonists. The race component of it is really, kind of ridiculous when you get to talking about love, and you can love people of any race, and you can wind up being involved with a black Confederate.
Right. I feel you, the caller. Honestly, I really do. It's not necessarily just about the race. I think it's about the character. But we'll talk more about this on the other side. It's your fly gal, Just Bree, that's been jamming right here on 1017 The Truth.
Are you thinking about getting your business ready for the holiday season? You got this, because at Associated Bank, they've got you. FlexLend can get you funds fast, decisions in hours, and funding in as little as one business day. Lines of credit, equipment loans, working capital, and more. Apply online today at associatedbank.com/FlexLend or call 800-270-7725 for an appointment with a banker near you.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the WIAA, are the 178,000 high school sports students in Wisconsin. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
For the brave men and women of the United States military, it has been said that some gave all, but all gave some. At Tayback Law, we honor these sacrifices by working to ensure veterans receive the benefits they're entitled to. I am Monica Ireland Karras. I am a partner and a VA-accredited rep at Tayback Law. If you're a vet and you have been wrongfully denied your veterans benefits, visit taybackattorneys.com to set up a free evaluation. At Tayback Law, we fight for those who fought for us. Contact Tayback for the payback. taybackattorneys.com.
Picture yourself feeling confident, refreshed, and beautiful. Well, that's exactly what you get at Elevate & Co. in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. This is 1017 The Truth's Melanie Ricks, and my friend Elizabeth and her team of highly skilled aesthetic providers at Elevate & Co. specialize in aesthetic injectables such as Botox and filler, and provide medical-grade skincare treatments. Get your natural beauty journey started today by visiting elevateandcomke.com. That's elevateandcomke.com. Book your free consultation today.
Who are we? We are the ones who learn to do what we love. We're the ones who want to work, who want to learn from firsthand experience, to earn an income, who don't need to spend 4 years in lecture halls. We're the healthcare, construction and utility workers, manufacturers, agriculturists, and service and IT professionals. We are Wisconsin Apprentices. Learn more at wisconsinapprenticeship.org. Brought to you by the Department of Workforce Development.
This is Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It is your flag out, Just Bree, sitting in for Melanie Ricks. Sorry, not Melanie. Melanie Ricks, who is off on assignment. And we are on Nothing But the Truth. And we are speaking truth, like I said before. If you do not know, we are talking about Johnathan Majors, who was convicted on Monday of reckless assault in 3rd degree, a non-criminal charge of harassment, which is just a violation. And there's been a lot of opinions floating around. We've talked a lot about interracial relationships. And like I said, I think it's based on a character. I don't necessarily think that it's based on a race. You know, I think that your race can have something to do with your character if you was raised a particular way. But I think that this is not a case of just a white woman screaming woof. I don't necessarily just think that, because I think they're both are has to be held accountable. But I feel like it's one-sided because of race, right? Because he is the black guy and he is the male in the situation. So they are constantly trying to make him out to be the total fault or the total bad guy. Whereas I think that they both were villains to each other because they were toxic. And when you are in a toxic situation, it is both of y'all jobs to learn how to walk away. These two individuals were in their 30s. They were close to their mid-30s, either are or close to their mid-30s, where they should know by now to walk away from a situation. And Johnathan Majors was trying to run for one, but I think at that point it was too late, you know? We as people have to get comfortable with leaving the situations that we are in to protect ourselves, because at this point it has gone way too far. It has hit its peak because there's police records, there's footages, there's recording. If you feel like you have to record somebody while you're in a relationship, you do not need to be in that relationship, because that violates a whole nother level of trust. Even if you are recording somebody because you're like, I'm going to play this back for you, because when we in an argument, you tend to forget. If that person is so happily forgetting everything that they have said in an argument, or so happily forgetting something that they have said before, leave them. Because are they always forgetting? I don't know. I'm a very forgetful person. But that's also a manipulative tactic, right, of somebody who's toxic, to constantly say that you're forgetting whatever. Basically, all I'm saying is, if you have to do that much to be in a relationship, you shouldn't be there. Get up out of there. If you got to record something, that's too much effort too. Because who's even thinking about that? You have to be very malice, in my opinion, to have to sit there and think about whether or not I should be recording somebody. No. If we're at that point, there is no reconciling. There is no, let's try to figure this out. No, I don't trust you anymore, because I don't know if the things that I'm going to say in this recording is going to be held against me at some point. We in a different day and age where you put that bad boy out, and now the narrative is that I'm some type of abuser and you're totally innocent. And like I said before, I do not think that she's totally innocent. And all of these clips and all of these circumstances, she seemed to not be in her right mind. Whether that's due to emotional trauma that she's already had, or maybe the emotional trauma of the relationship, alcohol, or maybe something else, because let's not forget she had some type of suicide attempt because of the relationship. Never, ever, ever somebody threatens suicide because of your relationship ending, because of your relationship not working out. You should never rekindle that, because that person is too unstable. And relationship requires a certain level of beyond stableness, okay? So let's go to the phone lines. We got Al on the phone. Al, you are on the new 101.7 The Truth. Let's go.
Well, to be honest, I think they both was coke and doping. I think they was messing with that sugar honey iced tea. They were toxic, and it gives me O.J. Simpson vibes. I don't have nothing against interracial relationships, but I also feel like if you didn't pick a black woman in the beginning, don't wait till everything go from sugar to sugar honey iced tea in the ending to run back. Where you started in the beginning is where you should stay in the ending. But this is just a news flash on what people see. When it's toxic, get out. I wouldn't bring race into it, because on that hand, we should sit there and say, well, because some of your grandparents was rape babies, should you love them any less? Because black women are with black men who treat them like sugar honey iced tea, should we tell them not date another black man? Mm-hmm. What we should say is date a person who respect you, and when you see the warning signs, let them rot like a dead dog on a highway and keep it pushing versus pushing this dividance. Because you can't replace time, but you can always replace people. Happy Tuesday.
Al, you know what? I love you. Every time you call in, it's boom to the point, and your exit is always on point.
Do you agree with that, though? Do you agree with it? Since you're trying to hype Al's point up, do you agree with it?
I do.
You can't replace time, but you can replace people?
Yes, you can.
People?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Every soul that comes down here from God is divine, okay? Every one of them are unique. I don't care if it's Jeffrey Dahmer to Jonathan Majors. They're all unique people.
I don't like that. No. Sometimes you're a terrible person, and you came down just like that. You are a terrible person. Sometimes people are just, from however they've gotten it, whether it's nature or nurture, they're terrible people. And I think that's the narrative. See, people got to be, that's the thing. Somebody probably have never told Grace that she was a terrible person, or that you have terrible habits, or that you are not the person that you think you are because of these actions.
Dang.
Holding people to accountable for their actions. I don't think somebody probably told her that. Because if your guy in your mid-30s has to tell you your drinking is affecting this household X, Y, and Z type of way, and on the vice versa for him, right? If a woman in your 30s as a man, a woman has to tell you that your anger is too way out of control for whatever, you don't need to be in a relationship.
I mean,
you
but
have
shouldn't
bad
you try
habits. You're a terrible person right now. Go get yourself some help and go heal.
Well, but if you are that person's lover, aren't you supposed to be the help? Aren't you supposed to support them in some way, shape, fashion, or form to help get them through the dark times? Like, there's people who, for instance, 2023 has been a terrible year, right? But if you're in a relationship and the person's a friend or somebody that they love passed away, and they start going through a rough patch in their life, are you just going to tell them, hey, you just need a therapist? Or you going, because you're their lover. You're the person that they're going to spend majority of their time with outside and going to work, right? You go home with this person, you eat at the table with this person, you sleep with this person, and you see this person from sun up to sundown. And a lot of times you'll be able to see if they're happy, if they're sad, if they're angry, if they're mad. But they may be going through something. They might be trying to cover it up with sometimes it tends to be drugs, whether it's weed or, as Al alluded to, cocaine, or in this case with Grace and Johnathan Majors, it might be a drinking problem. Are you not supposed to help that person through their drinking problem? It's a depressive state for that person. Should Johnathan Majors actually try to help her out, or should he just try to call the police?
You know what, Ben? No. You're not in charge of that person's and their emotions. You're not in charge of it. The only thing that you can do for that person when it comes down to happiness, you cannot make them happy.
I'm not saying make them happy. I ain't saying make them happy. I'm saying help them get through.
Right. And this is my analogy to the two, right? You cannot make somebody happy, but you can add to their happiness. I can help you to a certain point, but I can't be the help that you need to have for yourself. That's a lack of ambition to get better at some point. To allow this to linger, and don't get me wrong, there is times where people go through things for months or whatever have you, but there is a point and a cap to everything, and you have to know your limits. Because now, he knew his limits too late. His limits already have been broken. His boundaries have been broken. Her boundaries have been broken. And now we are here at the legal system, and now one of us' career and life is never the same. How far am I going to help you to where now you're destroying me? And now at some point, he started handing it to her. He started handing her the evidence. You know what I mean? Like trying to put her in the car, trying to get her home safe, was looking as if he was abusing her. Him running away and her chasing him didn't have no effect on that jury. Or maybe slightly.
Nah.
Maybe a little bit.
It all worked out in her favor.
It all worked out in her favor.
I mean, but you gotta also realize again, personally me, and maybe this is a timing thing, but I don't think if this accusations would have came up, if the Creed 3 movie wasn't out because I don't think Creed 3 actually helped his case. All right, I see this big black man beating up Michael B. Jordan in the movie.
For sure.
He throwing haymakers. You telling me he not?
And he's a big guy. Stop.
It don't help. It does not help. I see you throwing some boxing gloves. You done trained in this movie, Creed 3. You don't think that the rest of the public perceptions of you ain't gonna think that you could possibly be a Mike Tyson? So when you actually end up in court for assault, you don't think that it just might lean in favor of the accuser? Because I think so. And personally, it's not even just because personally, I want to be on the side of Johnathan Majors. I really do, and I've been on the side of Johnathan Majors. In this scenario and in real life. But with that being said, with a movie out there like that where you just beating up on another black man and you showing all your muscles, you showing how many abs you got. He big too. Yeah, he a big dude.
And that big, I told you off air, that's why I don't date guys. I don't date real swole guys. I really don't. I like guys with dad bellies. You know why? Because in my mind, just in case you flip a switch or something happens and I got to protect myself, I got to be able to think about how I'm about to I'm about to get out of this situation, and I gotta feel like I could rumble with you a little bit. You know?
So you don't want no dude that's 6'5".
No, and my first option is always leaving. But let's say you violating me at this point. I'm trying to get up out of this situation, so I got to make sure I can maneuver and rumble with you a little bit so I can get up out. So I never get me a super swole, muscular guy. I do like tall guys, but they gotta have they got to be a little skinny. They can't be all swole.
Enough for you to beat up. Enough for you to harass. Enough for you to physically abuse.
You see that?
Just in case.
I just preferenced it. I would never. Just in case. Just in case. In case he is violating me. I got to make sure,
I feel that, Bree. Well, you know what, Truth Nation? How do y'all feel about this Johnathan Majors incident? Where does Johnathan Majors go from here? You know, obviously he won't be with Marvel anymore, but what should he do? Or what should anybody do in the scenario? What was the problem in the scenario? Was it race? Should he have not ever been messing with a white woman? Maybe he should have been down with a black queen the whole time. Who knows? But if you feel some type of way about this conversation, make certain that you do text in 833-212-1017. All right, this is your boy Benjamin. That's your fly girl, Just Bree. And this is Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks, who is out on assignment. All right, we got one more segment left. Tap in with the Truth Nation. We'll be back.
Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. All your favorite interviews and best moments live in one place.
You know, I'm working in the morning, and I was listening back on the Truth app.
Download the new 1017 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris, and the time is now, Milwaukee. You know, perspective is essential. What I found is the news behind the news is more important. I want you to leave my show with a sense of knowing what was missing that adds depth to the conversation. Tune in Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, or 1017thetruth.com.
Bringing all the smoke to you.
I love what you're doing, and this radio station is just like what it's called. It's the truth.
Download the new 1017 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth Community Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. between the Tory Lowe Show.
Truth Nation, Dr. Ken Harris here, and I'm excited about the Truth's partnership with Versity. There is a serious need for blood donations in the Black community, and Versity wants to bring awareness to this because it's their mission to improve patient outcomes, advance the field of personalized medicine, and strengthen the health of communities everywhere. This is why you should tune in every month when a representative from Versity joins the Truth to share about what they're doing to make a difference in our community.
Awesome. One call, that's all with Gruber Law Offices. And let me tell you right now, Gruber Law Offices does an excellent job of helping people and helping the communities. They stand up for victims and they take the burden off your shoulders. So if you or a loved one is ever injured in a car accident, make one call, that's all, to Gruber Law Offices, and they will take care of the rest. They're one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest, and what I love about them is that they are family-owned and operated, and they are local, and they have a powerful team that has all the resources to take on insurance companies. I'm telling you right now, if your loved one's injured in an accident, visit Gruber Law Offices at gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com, or call them at 414-276-6666. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices.
Are you an older adult or an adult with disability who makes too much for Medicaid benefits? Well, good news. You may qualify for $7,200 to help pay for short-term or continuous in-home services through the new Milwaukee County Independent Living Supports pilot program. If you qualify, it can help pay for things like specialized medical equipment, home modifications, personal care, and other services that improve your quality of life. Do yourself a favor and don't leave this opportunity on the table. You deserve to live life to the fullest. Find out if you qualify right away by visiting county.milwaukee.gov/ILSP. Again, that's county.milwaukee.gov/ILSP. Or call 414-289-6874. Again, that's 414-289-6874. Milwaukee County Independent Living Supports Pilot Program. Live your life to the fullest.
Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Chip. You know what, Ben? I always enjoy it when I'm on with you. I swear. It's the best laughs. It's the best time. And honestly, I just got to be real with you. I think the takeaway from all of this is be cautious, be careful, understand people's character, who they are before you allow them to get into your space, get into your head, get into your being, right? And just beware of that. What's your takeaways?
Yeah, my takeaway from this, you know what? I agree with what you just said, though, Bree. Definitely be aware of your surroundings. Don't just let any and everybody into your space. Hey, they might be a drunk, and you might be a movie star on your ascension to do a Marvel movie, and next thing you know, that drunk cost you $100 million for a $50 bazillion contract, and now you're just doing movies on Tubi. So, hey,
protect your neck, as they say in New York, okay?
Protect your neck.
It's been your fly gal, Just Bree, right here on 101.7 The Truth, right here in the American Family Insurance Studios. And we were talking nothing but the truth with Ben Jammin' in for Melanie Ricks. I'll catch you next time. Ow. Bye.
And I'm proud that I'm still getting bigger. Going viral is getting them sicker. Like what? Let's keep it a buck.
Picture yourself feeling confident, refreshed, and beautiful. Well, that's exactly what you get at Elevate & Co. in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. This is 101.7 The Truth's Melanie Ricks, and my friend Elizabeth and her team of highly skilled aesthetic providers at Elevate & Co. specialize in aesthetic injectables such as Botox and filler, and provide medical-grade skincare treatments. Get your natural beauty journey started today by visiting elevateandcomke.com. That's elevateandcomke.com. Book your free consultation today.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Social injustices have created a long-standing list of disparities in education access and the quality of education. Injustice is also seen in sexuality education provided to students. Students really need the full spectrum of what it means to have the information so that they can take care of themselves. Reproductive justice leaders advocate for